put all of my life and made the front page. Two little punks almost fucked it up for me. Instead of my life, they took my money. So this goes out to the dude that jacked me, made me harder, harder than I'll ever be. So maybe one day we can meet again, so we can hang you from a tree. Come on, come and get some. Face to face, yeah, one-on-one. You want some? Come on. Toe to toe, and I'm the only one. Come on, come and get some. What? Face to face, yeah, one-on-one. You want some? Come on. Toe to toe, and I'm the only one. Way past midnight party in Miami.
The Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Des Moines, Iowa is an arena immersed in contrast. Last night it was the lovable Barney, but tonight it's Battlecade, Extreme Fighting 4. Hi everybody, I'm Dave Bontempo. Welcome to Extreme Fighting 4 in Des Moines, Iowa. Glad you could be with us. My partner, John Peretti, four-time international kickboxing champion and the man who made tonight's matches. The last Battlecade got rave reviews for the quality of the matches, unprecedented in no-holds competition. And John, tonight you've added Olympic wrestling to the match.
We have Kenny Monday and Kevin Jackson, the Olympic gold medalists and the best wrestlers in the United States today. They are here to fight in extreme fighting, and they think they're going to take over our sport.
What led to the inclusion of wrestlers in the contest?
We chased them down, and we saw that they were willing to come into a competition like this that has been blackballed from the beginning.
As far as styles now, we've got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, all types of martial arts. Where does wrestling fit into that mix?
Well, it's at the bottom. It's well grounded in that mix. And what we really have to find out now is how well they'll do against the punchers and the kickers.
Well, we saw Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu had been dominating the contest early on, and then in our last Battlecade, Maurice Smith with a kick may have destroyed the myth of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We will find out. And we will take a look at tonight's extreme matchups. Our card tonight, very strong card, put together by John Peretti, leading off with Todd Bjornson. Should be a very good match with him.
Todd Bjornson comes into this as a very well-rounded fighter, specializes in stand-up, but he also has some tricks in store, I hear, ankle cranks, etc.
Todd Bjornson coming in, saying he had more than 200 ways to finish guys. I asked him what his favorite one was. He said he can't recite them. Well, let's take a look now at all the matches we've got on our card tonight. A full series of bouts, starting off with the middleweights. Alan Goes and Todd Bjornson. Bjornson with the way to finish opponents will get his opportunity tonight. Goes fighting in front of the students. Middleweights, Eric Paulson and Paul Jones. Jones wrestled for a state title here in the 1980s when he was in high school. He's back on stomping grounds. Middleweights, Kevin Jackson and John Lober. Lober coming off the draw with Igor Zinoviev and Jackson bringing the wrestling influence in. Welterweights, Matt Hume and Pat Miletich. The local product here. We'll have to see how this one shakes down. Miletich representing the Midwest. Also welterweights, Kenny Monday from wrestling fame and John Lewis, who is the most patient extreme fighter I have ever seen. Ready to match wits in the heavyweights, Maurice the Cannon Smith and Murakami Kazunari. Smith coming off the win over Conan Silveira. Very stacked card, John.
Very stacked and very even card. I'm not really sure where any of it's going to go.
Okay, well, John and I will be giving you the call and the analysis of this card tonight, but we'll also be joined with some locker room reports. For those, we go to Gretchen Van Daren. Gretchen?
Hi, I'm back in the locker rooms. I'm going to see who's going to let me talk to them. I'm in Jackson, Monday, and Jones' locker room. Hi, how's everyone? So I just want to talk to you before the fight, see how you're feeling. You ready?
What's up, Robin? What's up, family? What's up, Lansing, Michigan? How you doing? Lex Roy, Robert Allen. I'm doing it tonight.
Good night, good. See anyone else in here? Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Pat, how are you?
Good.
Good. So how do you feel?
Good. Ready to go.
Being all taped up?
Yep.
You're there?
I'm there.
Good. Well, good fight. We're wishing the best for you.
Thanks. Thanks all those praying for me out there.
Okay. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Gretchen. Well, of course, this is Extreme Fighting 4. We've even got some rules in this contest that we'll get to. It's no holds barred. There have to be some rules once in a while as athletic commissions get involved, and we'll be going to those pretty shortly. Give you a look at what governs our contest this evening. And John, some of them basic and some of them might be a surprise. 3 5-minute phases. So you get a break, a 1-minute break between each one, and that makes for faster matches. No fish hooking, can't fish hook in this competition. No biting or eye gouging allowed in extreme fighting. No headbutting allowed in extreme fighting. That's about all for the rules. Otherwise, it's strictly combat. You win by submission. A very classic way to finish a bout. You win by knockout or TKO, as Maurice Smith showed in his last bout, and the referee or the doctor can stop the fight. We've got very safety-minded people here tonight. The corner throws in the towel. Another way that you can win the bout. Let's take a look at some of the people. There's referee John Donahue. He'll be in charge of the safety in this match.
Very capable guy. He's done an outstanding job so far.
And on the doctor side of things, see Dr. Joseph Estwanek, who will be the ringside doctor. And Joseph Estwanek has authored a book on medical safety in this competition. So the crowd getting into it. Our first fight is straight ahead. We're going to start it off with Alan Goes and Todd Bjornson. Getting ready for inside introductions now. That's how they stack up. Todd Bjornson, a full-time grocery store manager, does this on the side and has done very well with it. And Alan Goes has students from California here, not afraid to battle in front of the students and get second-guessed by them for a change. So the teacher will try to perform in front of his constituents, and very shortly we will see the ringside walk of the contestants. And you get a good look at the Veterans Auditorium, the crowd, the circular octagon they will battle in as Extreme Fighting 4 gets set to go underway. Todd Bjornson will be coming through there. That's the sign. Whatever it takes to win. And it takes quite a bit in extreme fighting. Jiu-jitsu to hold, and here is Todd Bjornson, current world middleweight pancration champion, one of the oldest competitions around.
Starting with kickboxing training in the morning, wrestling with submission training in the afternoon, weightlifting as well, and then at night with sparring and also some more submission fighting. So I was born and raised, yes, in the Seattle area, and went to school all the way through school here. I don't believe any of my opponents really frighten me. I respect every one of them. I don't think any fighter really can go into the ring with fear. Some people say, well, how can you do that? How can you go out and harm people and that? And if you do look at the Bible and you do look at the aspects of the scriptures, there were plenty of people in the scriptures, such as King David, who was a warrior. The way I see my Christianity is also a tool of ministry to be able to go out and touch people in areas where not everybody can. I don't go in the ring to kill or maim or hurt somebody. Go in the ring to win. And there's so many aspects of the fights that you have to be consistent in all areas: standing, ground technique, takedowns, and such. So all areas that I do train in to be ready for this fight. I like to come in ready in every area. Anything can happen in these types of submission fighting. There's so many different angles. You've got chokes, you've got kicks, you've got punches, you've got knees, you've got elbows, you've got headbutts. At any point in time, you can get taken out. So they can go from 30 seconds to 30 minutes. So I'm not really too concerned about what the other person's going to do. It's what I'm going to do. And that's what really counts in a fight.
Okay, well, by the way, before the lights went out here, we have had a power failure. Well, it's extreme lighting might be the theme now, John. Extreme lighting, not extreme fighting.
Yeah, I'm listening to you, but I can't see you.
That's right. The lights went out just before we saw Bjornson in the ring. He was escorted in by Stacy Moran, the October 1993 Pet of the Month, and somebody turn the lights out just before extreme fighting got underway. Well, folks, we've seen it all. Every now and then you get these exciting moments which you wish would not be happening just before you're getting ready for competition. And now they're back on. I can remember a fight, John, in Connecticut on ESPN, all set to go, and the lights went out at a casino. We wondered if they'd paid their electric bill. So we'll be restoring order pretty shortly here. Talk to me. So Todd Bjornton already in the ring, and Alan Goes will be making his appearance pretty soon.
Todd doesn't look like he really has a sweat on him, does he?
No, I think maybe he lost some of it when the lights went out. Well, Alan Goes likes to compete in front of his students. He's made a full-time job out of jiu-jitsu and extreme fighting. Let's talk to him now.
I'm a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter, but like all good fighter, I try to learn all kind of stuff. Learn a little bit kickboxer, boxer, and I try to stay on my own style, jiu-jitsu. My objective always fight on the ground. When I take to the ground, that's my world. I feel very good about the fight. Crack it up. That's no rules fight, you know. I'm gonna try to every time take him to my style and have a control of my opponent. Specifically when you watch the tape after, you see you can do better and better every time. That's my objective. Train to get better. Injury, I think we just don't get from the fight. I think you get from the train, everything. Broke a leg, arms. Almost I broke everything, you know, but everything great. All the women be attracted for the fighters. I believe any woman that see us step in the octagon, fight, I believe is gonna be attracted. I have a big controversy about no rules tournament because they used to say that's violent, but I believe it's not because that's sport like anyone. I believe that we are a good example for all the kids from the United States. I respect all the fighters that step in the octagon and fight because a lot of people has excuse to don't fight, you know. And Todd Bjornton, that's the only guy that decide fight me. You gotta be here and fight, do your best. Step in the octagon and do your job. Every time when you fight for extreme fight, that's always a pleasure.
Yeah, stick it down.
Okay, so welcome back, and we're going to update you as to what's going on here because of the power failure, and some of the light has been restored and not all of it. The fighters will be pulled from the ring for a while until it's resolved. Of course, we've got earlier action that we're going to show you. That Tom Glanville and Myers hooking up earlier. Tom Glanville, Gary Myers, earlier bout this evening. We'll be getting to that, so you will have competition to look at right away. And while that bout is going on, hopefully everything will be corrected here. So we're at the Des Moines Memorial Auditorium, and trouble is brewing, and hopefully they'll get it done pretty soon. And it looks like it's coming to life right now, little by little. We're certain that this problem will be worked out very shortly, and we'll be getting to the card. And don't forget, it is quite a loaded card tonight. We told you earlier about Maurice Smith and Kazanari hooking up. Maurice Smith coming off a big win in his last bout against Conan Silveira. We've got the Olympians coming in here with Jackson and Monday, adding their element of intrigue into the pie. So we've got that all ahead coming straight your way. But earlier tonight, we had action. Glanville versus Myers. So hook in, folks. We'll go to earlier action now.
Big Thomas Glanville there. Warming up, and Gary Myers, the juggernaut. Let's see if this is a rematch of the last one. Both looking a little wary of distance here. Gary Myers normally shooting. And Thomas Glanville normally kicking. It's like actually both of them don't want to be in that game. Very tentative start for Gary Myers. A little fading. Now, Thomas Glanville should throw a right roundhouse kick when he walks backwards like that. As he walks backwards, the right roundhouse kick should come out. Gary Myers, very tentative tonight. Short jab for Glanville. Neither of them looks like they want to start this fight. Myers normally very aggressive, staying out of the range of Glanville's left jab. There's the right roundhouse kick. Nothing on that one. Terrible left hook. Myers with his hands very low. I'm surprised Glanville just doesn't step in there and throw the overhand right. Very short left hook by Myers again. A very, very tentative fight here. Slapping left hook. Maybe both of these gentlemen are concerned more about their records here than whether they're going to win or not. Just looking like they refuse to break the distance. There's a big right hand and a slip. Glanville goes to guard, an open guard this time. This is where he was stuck last time they fought. And a little headbutts last time. We're not doing that anymore. Now Glanville's trying to get underneath Myers so that Myers doesn't have any chance of punching him. But he should have one hook in, and he does not. He has both hooks outside. See, Glanville is having a really rough time, and Myers' corner yelling to hold his head down with his elbow. Now he's in a better position. Now if he loses that position, he will be attacked by the left hook, most probably. Myers pushing his head away. There's the left hook. See, Glanville's a very, very strong individual, but he needs to get more under Myers and elevate him. Literally, Myers pushing through the open legs of Glanville. Glanville not having any reason to stand up at this point, and Glanville, with his back and his butt on the ground, he should be pushing away with his legs and making distance. He is not. You see Myers loosening it up a bit. The left hook, straightening out, a blazing right hand. Now this looks very familiar to the fight that Glanville fought with Myers last time. The choke from the elbow. Ugly kind of chopping left hand there across the nose, bridge of the nose. That might have hurt Glanville in a way. Glanville with the closed guard, with his butt straight on the ground, making no effort to push away off the fence. I think he's forgotten how strong Gary Myers really is. Closing in on the 50-minute mark. Very, very difficult situation for Glanville here. And his legs falling back on the guard, showing some fatigue. It almost seems like Glanville's blowing up a bit from the bottom. I really don't like the way he turns his head away like that, instead of concentrating on the fight at hand. There he's pushing away a little, and Myers takes the stuffing out of him with a left and a right. In the 17-minute mark, Glanville's still putting the pressure on here. Actually, quite a boring little encounter. Myers raking his mouth. And Meyer spits out his mouthpiece. That's the end of the first round. Not much of a confrontation.
And that was, amen, John, you're right. That was boring at some points, and it ended up in a draw. A spirited third phase of that ended in a draw, of course, with no winner in Battlecade. It goes automatically to a draw that is not judged. Now we're up, ready to go. The problems have been fixed. We have live combat. Alan Goes and Todd Bjornson. Let's see how they match up with the extreme numbers. Goes 25, Bjornson a little bit older at 31. The height goes to Goes by a couple of inches, and he's got 15 pounds on him. Let's see how he utilizes that in this competition tonight. So Goes and Bjornson, let's get the official introductions now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Des Moines, Iowa Veterans Auditorium. Tonight's show by Battlecade presents Extreme Fighting 4. Introduce our referee for tonight's event. From Melbourne, Australia, one only of 5 black belts under the Gene Lee Bell, and currently training under Higgin Machacho of the Machacho Brothers. Welcome our referee to my left, John Donahue. A gentleman in the red corner to my left from Kirkland, Washington, currently world middleweight champion, a pancration champion with the record of 225-27. He is 30 years old, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 184 pounds, Todd Bjornson. Standing behind me from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, undefeated in no-holds-barred competition, with a record of 3-0-1. He is 25 years old, standing 6 feet 1 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 199 pounds, Alan Goes. I'm bringing a sweat.
And Todd Bjornson. Set to go, 3 5-minute phases, periods, anything you like to call them. 1 minute break in between. Bjornson, a student of the pancration art, which goes all the way back to 600 BC. One of the first forms there ever was. You think referees are tough today? Back in those days when you did something wrong, the referees hit you with poles. So Bjornson and Goes off to a boxing type start here.
Goes pretty fearless, just walking in. That goofy little front kick for making distance, that's the tackle front kick.
And Goes using that front kick the way a boxer might use a jab. Now Bjornson makes the first move.
That's a triangle. Already Bjornson's in deep, dark trouble.
A triangle, one of the best throws, and it's over. Wow, Bjornson was on top, but the triangle, John, you called it, maybe one of the most formidable of all finishing holds. The triangle, you see the head come together, and a triangle is formed between the head and the point of the legs, and it's that quick. If you get the triangle on somebody, it can be an instant stoppage, and that's what we got.
Frightening display of ability and giving somebody your arm.
You talk about Bjornson made his move, and Goes was happy on the bottom.
It was ecstatic. I mean, he was given a Christmas present in his lap.
Alan Goes!
So Alan Goes with a dramatic victory off the bottom, able to unleash from a triangle hold and get this early victory. A stunning development by Alan Goes as Bjornson extended himself and maybe left himself a little bit too open. Very intriguing development here for Alan Goes. Let's watch it now. Bjornson makes the first move. He gets the top. Well, but the top doesn't mean anything with the triangle.
No, and you know, what was really frightening is that he threw that roundhouse kick and spun around there and showed his back. And Allen just salivated.
So now Bjornson is on the outside, thinking he can take advantage. He's in front of his students, don't forget that. Big crowd on hand for him.
Remember I said how aggressive he looked with sticking that out? He just seemed so confident.
Very calm with the way that left foot was up. As a boxer might use a jab, he's getting his distance and showing the bottom portion. Very confident, not overextending himself with the leg. And Bjornson gets eager right here.
Underneath, he goes in, and just watch the hand. The hand is just in his lap, and he actually helps himself put the triangle on. Bjornson looks like he's in a different world. He doesn't lift his head up, taps out immediately before passing out. Now, he could have gotten an armbar from there, too, if he had escaped the triangle.
And the triangle, one of the quickest finishing holds you're going to see. And it looks here like Goes lures Bjornson into that triangle trap.
You know, I thought it was going to present itself as a really good fight for that second there because Bjornson threw the punch. Very lackadaisical on his part to feed an arm like that.
But he did not follow up his advantage. And in extreme fighting, you make one mistake and you extremely lose.
Well, Goes just shows his superiority here.
You know, talked about Bjornson knows the 200 finishing moves, but he also knows that the triangle is not something you get out of it. Look at the leg strength of Goes.
See, he puts his hand on his heel, pulls it down in the triangle. Now he is just squeezing. You know, the interesting thing to note is that Goes was so confident with the triangle, he didn't even hold Todd's head. He held his arm. He held his arm in case he got out of the triangle, he would still have the arm bar. To produce a real triangle, he would have to grab the back of his head. And look how strong Alan Goes is.
He's got a triangle with his legs, and he's ready for an arm bar if the escape is made, but there's no getting out of that one.
Well, from that angle, actually, I see he does have pressure on the elbow. We couldn't see it because his back was to us. Well, but from that angle, I do see more and more pressure. He might have tapped out from the elbow capsule.
Either way, maybe 3 different ways to go. So a dramatic opening live bout after the one we showed you earlier, and quite a contrast. In the first bout, the one you saw 2 very tentative fighters. Here, you saw somebody who was really able to be aggressive and take the initiative. And that was the downfall of Bjornson in this bout as Alan Goes comes up with the win. Well, it's not just all about extreme fighting. There's a lot that goes with it, some merchandise, and we're going to take a look at some of that merchandise right now. And there you get a look at the Veterans Auditorium here in Des Moines, Iowa. Barney one night, Battlecade the next. Also the Iowa Barnstormers of the Arena Football League play here. But we've got more action ahead. Middleweights Eric Paulson and Paul Jones, 2 very interesting guys who will come in here with different styles. Paul Jones wrestled here for Waukee High School in the 80s, grappled for a state title, not knowing that he'd come back several years later as a professional and go after some very good goods here in extreme fighting. Very interesting guy, lives in Texas, teaches high school sports. Now he'll put himself on the line here. And there you see the ring entrance. Paul Jones making his way through.
You recall in Extreme Fighting 2 that he got a bye because one of his opponents decided not to fight late in the day.
So he comes in there. He's escorted in by Samantha Michaels, the November 1996 Penthouse Pet of the Month.
As long as there's a challenge out there for Paul Jones, I'll be ready to take that. I've done Greco-Roman wrestling, freestyle wrestling, sambo wrestling, judo, but I've also been involved in shoot fighting, combative grappling. I've tried to make myself into a total package, really. I make sure people know that Paul Jones is a fighter. I work at a boys' home at Boys Ranch, Texas. I'm the head football coach and the head wrestling coach. I really believe it's important to be a role model for kids. You know, I try to live a good Christian life. You know, I have a lot of Christian values. If I felt like extreme fighting didn't support my moral values, I don't think I'd fight in. Christians aren't wimps. The crowd here in Amarillo, they're great. Amarillo's a good sports city all around. Fighting Eric Paulson this time. I've seen him before. I know Eric Paulson is very good at punishing people. I've seen him, he can take punishment very well, so I think he's going to be a tough opponent. He's got more than just shoot wrestling in his background, and I believe I do too. We're both on the same ground. We both put our jocks on the same way, one leg at a time. I've tried to cross-train a little bit, do a few more strikes, a few more kicks to go along with the grappling skills that I have. I feel healthy this time. I'm ready to go. My weight's good. I've been training hard. I've known I'm going to fight him for some time, so Eric Paulson and Paul Jones should be a pretty good matchup.
Well, how do you like that? Christians are not wimps. And there is a look at Jones in the ring, all nice and sweated up, ready to go. He's warm, back in an area where he performed in high school for the state championship, so he's on home ground here. He'll have people here watching. His college coaches here, fans of his are here, so he's the hometown guy.
Now that's the way you should come into a ring. You should be ready. You should have been warmed up all before. Bjornson came in cold.
And paid the price. And we look at the opponent now of Jones, and that is Eric Paulson will be making his way in. Should be a good matchup here, Jones and Paulson. And Paulson will be escorted in by the lovely Elizabeth Hilden.
Here today?
I certainly hope so.
There you see the two, Paulson and Elizabeth Hilden, the Pet of the Year 1997 Pet House. Let's take a closer look at Eric Paulson.
Is straightforward. I'm not a dirty fighter. I fight by the rules, and very well rounded, and we do a mixture of stuff. Plus Bruce Lee was the founder of our system. It's called shoot wrestling. The guy I'm fighting is a wrestler, and the boxing is going to become probably a major portion of it. So my striking is very important, and strength and endurance. My last fight I did mostly pad work and a lot of sparring. This one I've done more lifting and running. I'm working with a lot of different types of grapplers, wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, shoot guys, and guys that attack high and low. So I'm trying to change my game a little bit. Never during a fight, or some wood, knock on wood, I've never been hurt. Basically, most of the damage in the fights comes from the elbows and the headbutts and the knees, because those are the sharpest tools on your body. So to take the headbutt out is great because actually it takes a lot of the blood out of the fight. Usually the injuries occur during training, so you don't go in there 100%, but that's what makes a fighter even tougher. You know, have an injury and go in there and overcome it. I've worked a lot on different TV shows, Baywatch, a few motion pictures. I've gotten more into the stunt work, like high falls and driving and things like that. But before, I was doing more just fight scenes. Actually, before the fight, everyone's really cool and they eye you, all the ring girls. They all check you out and stuff. But after the fight, when they see a couple buckles, bumps, and scrapes and blood, they just go, "Get out of here." But they're usually afraid because they get scared of your eyes.
so, the fickle nature of the fans as related by Eric Paulson. Let's take a look at this fight with the extreme numbers. How these guys match up as they go in. Paulson 29, a little bit younger than Jones. The height advantage to Paulson by a little bit, only at 2 inches, and their weight very similar, and that's one reason their matchup should be very even on paper. Let's get the introductions now.
Ladies and gentlemen, standing in the red corner in front of me, from Boys Ranch, Texas, two-time runner-up NCAA champion, 1996 National Sambo champion, and USWF Shoot Wrestling Tournament champion with a record of 7-0. He is 34 years old, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 196 pounds, originally from Waukee, Iowa, Paul Jones. The gentleman in the blue corner standing behind me, from Los Angeles, California, current shoot wrestling light heavyweight world champion with a record of 16-2. He stands 29 years old, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 195 pounds, Eric Paulson.
Eric Paulson. Paul Jones ready to go.
That's Dan Inosanto in Eric's corner. He's a legend. He goes right back to Bruce Lee. That's Bruce Lee's #1 student.
What type of an effect on a bout like this would you expect it to have,
I think
training-wise?
I just think it's so supportive for him to come here, for Eric.
Everybody is cleared out. Jones on his home turf. Paulson talking about the need to strike more. We're ready to go. John, it will be interesting to see who makes the first move.
Well, there it is. Now, Jones can suplex.
Looks like he wants to right now.
Smart move for Paulson. He puts his hand inside of Jones. He's still got the right one on the outside.
So much of extreme fighting is leverage. Able to basically improve on your spot. Now Paulson tries a couple clubbing shots.
That's a really stupid move because it exposes the back.
And we also see that Jones is getting lower, making a smaller target as he does that. And these not even good shots by Paulson, John. I don't know why he would do it.
What did I say about the suplex?
Oh, did you ever? That's done, and now Jones finds himself in a good spot.
But does he understand the position? That's what I want to see.
He understood it, able to flip it up. He got down low, and when Paulson fired the shots over the top, you saw the full leverage exerted by Jones.
Paulson's got his hips down. That's very bad. Exposes him to the hook from Jones. Now Paulson's in a really lousy position. He's got to get his right knee under to get guard. There's the hook that I'm talking about.
So we saw the scratching hands on the face by Paulson trying to distract Jones, who gets back.
He gets back to guard now. He's much safer, but it took him a long time. He took some punishment, and he blew up a bit to do it.
And in the guard position, you can still do a lot. It's considered defensive in most circles, but many offensive moves can come from there, and at least your body is balanced.
I like that Paulson is remaining calm here, but I'm really quite worried. There's the double grapevines.
Now we see Jones standing up, getting through the guard and popping here, trying to use the fence for some support. 2 minutes in, you get a good look.
Hey, Jones might be going for an ankle because he looks back at it constantly. He turns on it, too.
Trying for an ankle lock.
It's very possible he's going to jump into the ankle once he distracts him enough.
Good balance here by Jones. Excellent leverage, and you're watching good weight distribution. Jones has been parlaying his initial advantage.
Paulson moving the legs up, trying for a triangle of his own, and loses it. Oh, goes for it again. He's moving sideways to the arm bar. The arm is exposed.
The arm bar, one of the best finishing techniques. You can put pressure on the elbow, pressure on the arm. Opponents having their arms pounded might be apt to tap out. Jones in control. A little more than 2 minutes to go in the first phase or period here. If we get to the 5-minute mark, essentially they start all over.
I'm watching for this arm bar. See the way he turns around. Now Paulson loses his guard. He's in trouble. Now he regains it. But you see the way Paulson sticks it up next to his ear? He has an indication there of trying to spin and get the straight armbar.
Well, he's been pretty active on the bottom, Paulson has. He's been trying to switch into an offensive mode, and Jones has been keeping his offensive positioning.
Well, you notice that Jones is definitely the stronger of the two.
Yeah, he's a wrestler. He's used to being on top, and this is very much the same.
We can't see what's going on right now, but Jones is hugging him, and he could get turned over.
For Jones, this is a Battlecade version of riding time. He's been a big wrestler, but he needs to take better advantage of his riding time.
He should go to the back now, and he doesn't. He really missed a big opportunity just then.
John, we see a lot of wrestlers, good wrestling backgrounds, don't have the finishing holds down all that well. They're so used to winning on points.
Doesn't Jones look a little lethargic at the moment?
Yeah, he's taken 4 minutes of being on top. It doesn't look like he's going for the finish as much as he was earlier. And Paulson very feisty from the bottom.
He looks like a completely different fighter all of a sudden, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's really just lunging here.
Paulson can roll him on his back from here very easily.
It looks like Jones is trying to pin him, but that won't win in extreme fighting.
Again, Paulson needs to get that left knee under.
And Paulson may just need to get through 20 more seconds, and then he can start all over, which for him would be a nice state of affairs after a tough beginning. So the first phase period looks like it will come to a close, and we are going to have a second one. Good opening match there.
Yeah, really excellent. Let's watch the way Jones gets up here. What's he look like to you?
Did he shoot it all out there? Did he leave it?
He slowed down, didn't he?
It looked like he had 3 very good minutes. Jones took early control. He wanted the suplex, he craved the suplex, and he got it. And it was his match at this point. But even though he was able to wail away here and do some good work, he was unable to sustain it, and he goes into a second phase.
Here we go. Well, you know, I think he had a position here where he could have rolled him over, and he didn't. Let's see what he does.
So an opportunity lost. It looks like Jones wanted to kick to start round 2. Paulson chose a good shot there by Jones underneath a Paulson kick. Each guy showing his strength.
Chopping, nice chopping roundhouse kick.
Who won that exchange, John?
Well, look at the position, you know. I just think that Jones, you know, is going to lift him up again.
He may start a suplex from the bottom.
That's a very heinous one, by the way, from this position for Paulson's neck.
So Paulson clutching. Both guys trying to set up their next move.
He's turning him over. He's going to side control. A reverse triangle, but I don't think he has the arm in there. Or does he?
Being yanked on by Paulson.
That was a nice shot. He knows where his head is.
Paulson going in and out, trying to loosen the grip on him. He may have done it.
He does have the arm in there.
Paulson trying to get free of this grip by Jones.
See, he wants the other arm really badly. You see Eric pulling on it?
He is.
He's got a figure 4 arm lock on it, but Jones is very strong. He actually gives it up just then.
Jones is trying to smother Paulson here, get inside of his attack, and try to something else.
He's free.
So Paulson back in guard. Jones on top. You get a good overhead view of that battle inside. The fingers to the face now of Jones. Clubbing right hands there by Paulson. Jones has geographic control here. He's on top, but not going for the finish.
That was a great analogy. Eric seems to be letting go of his guard. That worries me.
Maybe he's slowing down a bit, John.
Maybe the pressure is just too much forward. But I'll tell you something, it's not helping Paul Jones to do this, to lay in his guard and get hit.
What's the move Jones would like to set up from here?
Jones is going to leave his arm if he stands up, but he should be punching from here. If he's happy and content in the position, why doesn't he hurt him from there?
You don't get anything just for doing this.
Eric Paulson with the little heel kicks to the gluteus maximus.
And they were unhappy feet. Now we see the wailing away here by Jones. Looking for an arm lock. Tried for the arm bar, didn't get it.
Now watch the figure 4 arm lock from the guard. That's useful, but Jones is very strong.
Paulson continues on his back here, being out-muscled, but still in it.
Eric can't get past the left arm of Paul Jones.
Jones has used that left arm to keep control. Now Paulson trying to spin away. Almost got free.
Tried the triangle and slipped out.
He was almost there.
Jones is actually stalking Eric there for a minute. Nice move by
Now
Eric.
Paulson gets out. Jones gets him from the back. Paulson was almost free.
Here's where the Brazilians would finish you immediately. They put the hooks in, and Jones just doesn't know enough to do that.
They'd pound the head. They would make you turn your head and go into a submission, but he doesn't have the technique.
You know, the ride is just a useless item. The ankle. He's going for the ankle. Now the knee bar.
He's got a minute to do it. A minute to do it.
See Paul bending his knee.
Looking for a submission, a choke here. 30 seconds to go, phase 2. Big moment in the bout. Big right hand by Jones as he tries to move in for an arm lock. Jones in complete control.
In the full mount.
He would have pinned him already, but that doesn't mean enough here. 15 seconds to go.
Eric going behind.
Paulson may slip out again. And phase 2 is going to go in the books.
Last round, guys. Look at this. Come on. Good fight.
Jones in control here, but it's been unable to give him the win thus far. He's in control, pounding away, but it's been all sizzle, no steak so far, John.
Well, the position is controlled by Eric, and when Jones does get a nice position like you see here, Eric reverses it out the back, goes right for the ankle initially, then he drops in for the knee. And there's where he goes for the ankle initially, then clutches for the knee. Now, Paul's a Sambo champion and bends his knee immediately, but he had his opportunity.
Well, we've seen a lot of attempted finishes now as we go to phase 3. Jones and Paulson.
Beautiful lead left hand by Eric.
Big right by Paulson. He promised that. He hurt Jones with that. Jones is wild, but Jones does get hold of the leg. Paulson should have thrown more than one punch.
Big right hand. Did you see Jones's head spin?
He needed more right there.
Going for the armbar deep this time. He's got a better position.
Paulson had a chance. Now Jones is in charge.
If he doesn't finish him here, he's lost a lot of strength and lost a very, very dominant position.
Jones has had countless opportunities to finish it. He's in a very good one here. trying to use defense to his advantage as well.
Smart move by Paulson, pops out to get better angle.
Paulson looking pretty calm down there, John.
Knows what he has. He lost it.
3 clubbing rights by Paulson. Boy, you just wonder what might have happened if he had thrown more bombs.
Just missed the triangle, too.
Earlier we saw Alan Goes win a very quick match with the triangle. Paulson has tried many tonight. You see the difficulty in getting the triangle fully executed. Paulson has been there many times and not quite gotten it home.
I like the way Eric scrambles when he has to.
Boy, Jones is going to shake his head when this is over, and all the chances he had.
This is a really good one too. He's got the environment to help him on one side. No escape. This is interesting. Watch. Very nice move by Paulson again.
Paulson gets out. Spinning. Now an ankle lock attempted by Jones. Does he have it? Weak shots here by Paulson.
He's trying to get the ankle now, you know. He's got the foot twisted. Eric's not a stupid person when it comes to this.
He did not let the ankle get caught. That would have been a very difficult position for him.
Watch for this ankle again. There's the knee again. Outward twisting. Figure 4 ankle lock.
Jones has tried the ankle locks, the arm locks, now pounding away, looking for one more opening. Paulson trying to get an offensive move together. Good backhand by Paulson.
A terrific distraction. Did you see that?
Yes. Paulson just missing with an elbow and showing with an attempted forearm smash.
He wants that ankle so bad, and Paul just really understands how to fight out of it.
So he's got Jones read that way all the way. Jones has fought like a typical grappler, looking for the arm lock and the ankle lock.
He's got his own figure 4 ankle lock there too, you know. This is a great fight.
These are 2 guys I was just going to say, John, we may have to see this one again, because it would be interesting to see what would happen if Paulson boxed first, as he did in the beginning of round 3.
Did you see that desperate one-leg takedown by Jones?
Boy, Jones has done everything but win this bout.
Jones experiencing some floor pain, but that instep's not budging.
You've got dueling ankle positions here. Who can pull harder? Who can twist more? Who's got better leverage?
Great little hook kick to change position. I think Paulson's a classy fighter.
Paulson has really come to life from the bottom. Paulson has had a myriad of escape techniques in this bout and really has maintained his composure when in a defensive position.
Eric figure 4s his legs. He's almost got that arm key locked.
Final seconds counting down, and a draw is imminent between these 2 guys who have really put entertaining techniques together now. Some pounding shots by Paulson.
Nice position for Paulson, but he really should go for the armbar. Suplex.
From the bottom by Jones, but no more time. A crowd pleaser.
There's the armbar.
He ran out of time. An entertaining battle, had a bit of everything between Jones and Paulson. They get up smiling. They tried a lot in this bout. And this was a very entertaining. 2 guys well schooled. Each guy knew his own strengths and knew how to exploit the weaknesses in the other.
I thought it was really entertaining, you know. They both tried for ankle locks. It got a little silly, but then Paulson just, you know, distracted him. Got a little leg kick in, a great little backhand slap. Illegal in boxing, but certainly worked well here.
Well, this one is not over yet. They'll have to put this one back.
Ladies and gentlemen, time has expired. with no contest. Let's cheer for these fighters. It's a draw.
So, it's a draw. Solely on aggression.
Jones, awesome job.
Jones looked like he had control.
Best fight of the night, man. That's the best fight of the night.
No verdict. No verdict. There's the ankle takedown there by Jones. Sloppy here in round 3, but gets it together. Paulson comes on after that and really fought well from the bottom, John.
Oh, yeah, I just really liked the way he was slick from here. He turns around.
And just one more exciting suplex. Jones loves to do that, and he really just ran out of time here.
But the position Eric gets him in is a classic position. Figure 4 is his leg, and the time runs out. That would have been a finishing position.
Well, we've got a middleweight bout coming up. That one is leaving the fans tingling here. We'll probably see a rematch of that. Kevin Jackson and John Lober set to go. Middleweights. Jackson from the Olympic team gives the wrestling inclusion in here. And John Lober had a draw with a man who's joined us here, Igor Zinoviev, and we'll be talking with Igor during the bout about what he sees. Right now, we're getting ready for the ring entrance. The Battlecade Extreme Fighting sign. And there is John Lober, muscular guy. John Lober, let's take a closer look.
My style of fighting is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu along with JKD, a little boxing, a little bit of wrestling, and it's all combined into one. It's a cross-train, hybrid type of fighting, you know, street fighting. After my fight with Igor, I changed my style a little bit. Every fight, I'm a new fighter, okay? Whoever I'm fighting, I'm training for that style. I don't use just jiu-jitsu, and I don't use just boxing, and I don't use just, you know, kickboxing. I use all of them, and I use them in a combination to beat whichever style I'm fighting. It's like a chess match. You need to play chess intelligently and carefully. Kevin Jackson's a champion. He's an Olympic wrestler, so there's a few things I need to work on in preparation to fight him. I think the fans that come to these shows are pretty freaky. They like to see action. They like to see guys beating each other's asses, you know? So, I mean, the people that come to these shows, they want to see something new. There's a whole bunch of circumstances that dictate on how many fights you can fight a year, you know, depending on what kind of injuries you have and how long it takes to heal. You hurt your shins and your feet kicking opponents. You hurt your hands sometimes hitting them. That's why I like to, you know, use submission and choking and arm locks and ankle locks, because you don't get hurt as much if you do that. Also, you know, I have my front teeth knocked out, but, you know, I did that when I was 8 years old too, so that's a minor injury for me. They're in my pocket. I'm not going to fight scrubs. I'm not going to fight guys with lesser talent than me. I'm only fighting the champions. There's a food chain, and right now I'm close to the top, so I'm going to stay at the top, and I'm going to eat all the champions that are at the top right now.
Well, I'm glad he found his teeth. John Lober, who was escorted in by Andy Sue Irwin. Get a good look at John over there. Tough hombre, good competitor. Very good participant in extreme fighting, and he's going against Kevin Jackson, who brings the Olympian angle in here and the wrestling elements. Led in by Stacy Moran. Kevin Jackson, the Olympian. Let's take a look.
To compete in the Olympics was an honor. It was unbelievable. Actually, it was my highest sense of achievement I've ever experienced. You're competing in the great Olympic Games, the games that the greatest athletes in the world have competed in. Muhammad Ali, Jim Thorpe, Jesse Owens. You work towards something all your life, and to actually see that dream come true is it's amazing, and it was, you know, a highlight of my life. My last match was recently in Turkey, Ankara, Turkey. I went over there for an international tournament. I had 4 matches, which I won. I approximately have about 25 to 30 matches a year. This will be my first professional bout. It's a whole different world. It's a fight. My tactics could be the same as far as trying to take him down to the ground and get him in a position where I'm going to be more dominant. I have to incorporate some striking skills, some submission holds, and look for my openings in those areas. I like to fight John Lober. He's first on the list. I like to fight him, and I like to fight the champion, Igor Zinoviev. I've watched all the tapes. I've seen all the shows of all the extreme fights. I've actually studied a lot of the shows, and so I have a pretty good idea what to expect once I get out there. Yeah, I've worked on my punching skills. I worked on my striking skills. I worked with jiu-jitsu guys. I work with kickboxers. I work with, you know, anyone that can help me. You know, I want to be a well-rounded fighter. I'm not really in awe or intimidated by the rules. I know it's a fight. You know, I know it's a fight. I know what to expect, and I'm just going to try to put the hurt on him before he puts the hurt on me.
Well, there is Kenny Jackson. And we've got the matchups on extreme numbers. You see the good sweat on Jackson. Here's how they'll stack up. Jackson 32, a little older than Lober. The height very similar. Lober a little bit heavier, 199 versus 190. So Lober and Kevin Jackson ready to go here. Let's get the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, standing in front of me in the red corner, from Huntington Beach, California, currently IFC heavyweight champion with a record of 4-0-1. He is 28 years old, standing 5 feet, 11 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 199 pounds, John Lober. Ladies and gentlemen, standing behind me in the blue corner, from Gilbert, Arizona, the 1992 Olympic gold medalist in freestyle wrestling, 1995, 1991 world champion freestyle wrestling, making his extreme fighting debut. He is 32 years old, standing 5 foot tall, 10 inches, weighing in tonight at 199 pounds, wrestled for Iowa State University, Kevin Jackson.
Kevin Jackson, John Lober, ready to go. John Lober, of course, fought Igor Zinoviev in his last bout. Igor joins us now. Igor, welcome to the show here. Glad to have you. Lober brings a lot of strength in here, doesn't he? Waiting for Jackson to take that takedown. Hasn't happened yet.
No, but he threw a jab, which I thought was really unconventional.
Well, Jackson promised a new look. There's the takedown by Jackson. Now let's see what he's made of.
Right to side control.
Jackson trying to spin away. It looks like a high school or college match now. Does he have Battlecade skills? We'll find out.
You see him reaching for the ankle? He's going for the knee now.
Jackson with speed and strength, looking for an early ending here. A minute in, and Jackson off to a fast start.
Lober's attacking the knee and the ankle, right, Igor?
So Dave Bontempo, John Brody, and Igor Zinoviev has been with us, making some comments. Very interesting match. Igor fought John Lober last time, and Lober in the bottom, but he's attacking John.
Well, Lober's attacking, but I think he's being held off by the strength of Jackson. What about that, Igor?
I think just give it just a moment, you know. It's a great moment. It was hit to Cyrano, and in the old freestyle wrestling, it's can do like finish holds.
So Jackson has gotten off to a lightning fast start. Chopping right by Jackson.
Did that hit him, Dave?
It grazed. There's a right back by Lober that grazed. Jackson has shown some pretty good battle-hardened Battlecade skills right away.
Let's see how strong Jackson is against somebody as strong as Lober.
Oh, yeah. He said he enjoyed the idea of being able to punch down at his opponent. Jackson has been in complete control, and Lober has been very cool under there. But Jackson possesses the speed that not all participants do. And he's been in Olympic pressure before.
You know, Lober's never been put in that position before.
Chopping rights by Jackson. 3 minutes in, Jackson looking for an early stoppage here. Lober has 2 minutes he has to kill.
Do you think Lober thinks Jackson's strong now?
Oh yeah, he just both strong. So strong, you know.
And Jackson gets inside an attempted shot by Lober. He's got a crank going here.
Put your head in there. Put your head in the face.
Side control, but
just side control, but it's not finish holds again.
Exactly, no finishing holds. Good position, but he doesn't know what to do.
The knees to the head here by Jackson, looking for submission. Bloodies the nose, it looks like, here of Lober. Lober's got a minute and change to get through here.
What do you think Lober's thinking about right now with the power on top?
He's supposed to be turning off on the side, you know.
Move to the
face
side.
in the face, yeah. That's what he's doing, yeah, you see? And try to angle again.
Jackson doing with the knee to the head.
Very good.
Lober has taken a beating in the opening phase, but he's still here.
Jackson's not stupid, is he, Igor?
No, he's not stupid, but he knows, you know, he doesn't know what's finishing. You know?
No, doesn't understand the finishing holds.
Well, that's what the whole matchup was about, is take a wrestler and see what he can do in this situation. Can he inherit some finishing knowledge?
I think that Lober's got a lot of respect for Jackson's strength now.
Yes, but John Lobo, I think it's more technical, you know, for this position, because he got this position and he want to just finish him like a punch, you know.
So the final seconds of the opening phase has the crowd on their feet. It's been a beauty. Kevin Jackson and John Lobo cranking up the house.
I think that was 2 right hands, wasn't it, Dave?
It sure was. Make it 3. As Jackson continues to pound away, this crowd loves it.
He's great. He's great.
He's okay, he's okay.
Well, they're replacing the right glove on Kevin Jackson. I guess he hit him so hard that he took the stuffing out of it, so to speak.
He punctured one glove, and you get a look at Jackson's dominance. Side shots up on the top. Now, he may not have a lot of finishing holds, but imagine if he did, what type of a Battlecade warrior he would be, given the wrestling speed.
It's not just right. It's not just speed, is it, Igor?
He's you know, wrestling, in the freestyle wrestling, you got more speeding, you know, for just walk, moving in the ground.
He's got speed, power, leverage, and you can teach him the finishing holds, right?
Yeah, somebody is doing some teaching him. It's really great, you know.
If he wants
a great fighter.
So Jackson may not know all those submission holds, but he invents one here. Shot to the head, and he likes it. He keeps going with the hand rubbing the nose at the same time. He's trying to get Lober basically to give up here, and Lober will have none of it. So we've had a delay. Now the glove is being brought in by the referee for Jackson.
I think this delay is helping John Lober tremendously.
It's a sense to get his awareness back and try to plan what he'll do in phase 2.
Well, we have an extra glove now.
So
you notice the mouse under John Lober's left eye growing? You think that's going to hurt his vision, Igor?
Yes, a little bit. Not a little bit, but he doesn't feel now. But it's still vision, yeah.
And he won't be able to see the right hands coming at him if the eye starts to close.
Well, that's all we've seen, Dave, is right hands. Is that not right?
And with the eye the way it is, there will be many more of those right hands because they cannot be stopped. Kenny Jackson has shown why this matchup of the disciplines is interesting. He's got the wrestling skills. Lober has the Battlecade and ground skills. Lober needs to establish immediate control in phase 2, or it'll be more of the same.
Does John look tired to you, Igor?
No, I think he's prepared body fits very well, you know. And I think he's just can finish this whole fight.
He can.
He can.
You think he can still win this?
And this is how Jackson was establishing and maintaining control at the end. Big right hand bombs. So phase 2.
Just the first round, yeah.
Lober, as expected, tried for control. Jackson was ready.
That's a guillotine, isn't it, Igor?
Yes, somebody, yes.
So Jackson had Lober storm him in the beginning.
But he do wrong anyway. He do wrong guillotine, you know, again.
Right. Jackson on top here, trying to use some side control.
He's actually tried to stalk him a bit.
Yes.
Punching down with those right hands to the eye that Lober can't see. Elbow back by Lober. Almost an elbow to the face. You're allowed the forearm.
I think Jackson looks very calm.
Oh, yeah. So strong.
There's a guy that's not only been in wrestling situations, but Olympic pressure, too. He's had...
That's it. He's going to choke him out from here, I promise you.
That's right.
He's going to be unconscious from here.
You're absolutely right.
Back to wrestling, and Jackson, it's it.
It's it. It's over.
Lober had enough. Jackson with the power.
He's unconscious, John. He doesn't even know he tapped.
Yes.
Jackson put on quite a display. Igor, he wants to fight you.
Well, Igor, you know that you're lined up to fight this monster now.
I know.
How do you feel about that?
You know, I like his fighters, so all great fighters in the world. Because an Olympian champion and put me like more up for one more level up, you know.
Well, you're a much better boxer than John Lober. I hope you can use that.
I've tried doing something, you know. I've tried to do something with Tariq, and he worked together for me too. Don't worry about this. I know that's exactly. That's exactly professional Olympic wrestling. Is so clever, more technically.
Ladies and gentlemen, a minute 12 in the second round. By submission, Kevin Jackson.
Thank you, Igor Zinoviev.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so Kevin Jackson with a scintillating victory, showing not only the muscle, but the body control, the speed, he celebrates. And John, I think he's brought a nice element into Battlecade.
Well, I don't know if anybody can beat this guy. How's that for an element?
That's right.
I don't know what the top of the chart is, but this guy might be uranium.
Imagine if he knew a lot of finishing holds. He used the basic wrestling one there. He got back to what had done good work. Imagine if he had ankle lock knowledge and arm bar knowledge with that speed.
Devastating.
Wow.
We haven't seen an athlete like this in a while.
So Jackson elevating the athleticism of Battlecade.
Well, he tries to stalk him here, but he gets that short right hand in a couple of times. But this is where the position starts to change. Watch this amazing jump over to the other side.
As Lober is trying to pound away and use the elbow, Jackson riding him here, but he changes. And when he's on top like that, here's all the power. He puts it all in his arm, and it's goodbye, baby.
Well, you know, that's a classic choke right there. And, you know, as I said and Eager said, you know, I really thought this was the end of the fight.
He came over, he jumped over to the side, put all his power behind the arm, and Kenny Jackson making no mistake. Kevin Jackson finishing this thing off in brilliant fashion and showing himself to be quite an athlete. Well, we've got the winner now standing by with Gretchen Van Daren. Gretchen?
Thank you, guys. Kevin, that was an incredible fight. Incredible fight.
Before I get to the interview, I'd like to say thanks to Robin for letting me do this thing. My family back in Lansing and Arizona. My boys at Arizona State and Iowa State. Just like say hi to everybody. And it was a heck of an experience. I didn't know what to expect going in. I just know that I trained hard. This is my first fight, but I go to war every year. I go to the national tournament annually. I wrestle guys like Mike Van Arsdale, Melvin Douglas, Dave Schultz, Kenny Monday. I wrestle all these guys every year. I'm fighting all the time, but just not with the hands and not striking and kicking. So, you know, I'm used to doing this thing.
Well,
I trained for 5 matches in 2 days. One fight, I was happy to go.
What do you like about this kind of fighting compared to what you liked before?
Well, I'll tell you what, I got wrestled in the World Cup in Stillwater, Oklahoma a week from now, and I got wrestled 5 of the toughest guys in the world in a 2-day tournament. I'm getting a certain amount of money for doing that. With this thing right here, I'm getting 25 times that. That's what I like most about it, but I enjoy the competition. These guys are fighters, they're strong, they like to go hard, and it's all about competition. I really don't like the brutality of it where you have to get over and punch the guy, but nobody's just gonna let you submit him or choke him or armbar him and get him out of there. So you have to bang him out to soften him up, make him want to quit. That's what it's all about. These guys want to win bad, you have to force them to quit, and that's what I did.
It was amazing. What kind of opponent do you want to fight next?
Well, I'd like to fight Igor and maybe get the belt. I just have a point to prove about wrestling skills. People don't understand how skilled we are. We're world-class athletes, and we train hard. And I just want to prove to the world just how skilled we are and what we're capable of doing. I'd like to fight Igor maybe, if God's willing, capture the belt from him and possibly retire after that. But I just got a point to prove.
Well, explain a little bit of fight, what happened in there.
I went out there and I stuck to my game plan. Tim McCullen, my great trainer, I'd like to thank Tim, Mickey, Mike, all the guys in Tim's dojo, Jeff, Chuck.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you. Congratulations. Okay. Sorry to cut you short.
No problem,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Back to you, Dave.
Okay, Gretchen, thank you very much. I wish Kevin would talk a little bit. A little outspoken in his support of the wrestlers. They've done a very nice job in his estimation, and he really comes in here and puts the finishing touches on a superb performance by Kevin Jackson. So we've had some tremendous action here in Battlecade, and Kevin Jackson highlighting it. Let's take another look at some of the merchandising available from Battlecade.
The Battlecade soundtrack is here with all the bone-crushing, side-splitting action you've come to expect from this extreme fighting event. Call now at 1-800-874-0229 to order the most extreme compilation of music ever put together. This special CD features 10 tracks of power with artists including Lungs featuring one-on-one. So call to order yours today at 1-800-874-0229.
We're back now, ready for welterweights. Matt Hume and Pat Miletich. As Kevin Jackson still has the crowd buzzing from that second phase submission imposed on John Lober. Lober, the IFC heavyweight champion, never really was able to get started against Jackson. He had some action going on the bottom, but Jackson was too quick. You're watching Extreme Fighting in Des Moines, Iowa, the Veterans Auditorium. The welterweights are up. Matt Hume and Pat Miletich. Miletich very big in the Midwest and also a Thai champion, Midwest Professional Muay Thai champion. So he'll be battling the 1995 WKA Super Middleweight champion in Matt Hume. And some natural support for Miletich. They do want him to crucify Matt Hume. He'll be making his ring entrance shortly. We've had 3 live bouts and of course one earlier with Myers in Glanville. Victories tonight to Alan Goes and Kevin Jackson, and the draw between Paul Jones and Eric Paulson. And now Pat Miletich will be escorted by Samantha Michaels, November 1996, Pet of the Month. Pat Miletich has his story to tell.
Pat Miletich. My name is Pat Miletich. I'm from Benton, North Iowa. Home state event. I spent a lot of time out in California, Westminster, California, training with Ken Gabrielson and John Lober, Rodrigo Gracie, and some of their fighters. I've also spent a lot of time with Continental Boxing champions, sparring with them, and also with a lot of All-American wrestlers. So I've kind of covered the whole gamut. Yes, I'm 15-0 in no rules events. I'm fighting Matt Hume from Seattle, Washington. He's very strong on his feet. He's very dangerous on his feet. He's a great kicker, very good with his knees and elbows. So I believe that I'm strong on my feet, but I'm probably safest taking the fight to the ground just so I don't risk being cut, because I think he kind of looks to cut his opponent to get the fight stopped. So I want to get the fight to the ground because I feel I'm much stronger than he is. You have to have a different kind of endurance. Wrestling has a different type of endurance than, say, stand-up fighting, so you have to be well prepared for both. You can be in great shape stand-up fighting-wise, but once the fight goes to the ground, you can get exhausted in a matter of seconds. So I believe the athletes are much better trained, better endurance-wise, and stronger in this type of sport. I suppose we're a type of an oddity in society, what we do. Not very many people have the desire to do what we do, or the ability, especially in this event with all the great athletes that are here. This is by far the best fight card I've ever seen. I feel a little like the small fish in the big pond type thing. So at this point, I'll be happy to win and go from there. Usually I do get nervous, but for this event, I'm just happy to be here. I'm very excited and kind of chomping at the bit to get in there and show what I can do. I'm just very happy to be making my pay-per-view debut here in my home state of Iowa.
And there is Pat Miletich in the circular battleground first, waiting for his opponent, Matt Hume. Matt Hume, as mentioned, the 1995 WKA Super Middleweight champion. He's making his ring entrance very shortly. Here he comes, escorted by Elizabeth Hilden. He'll be in the ring very soon. Well, what's the inside story on Matt Hume?
My style is AMC pancration. Pancration originally was a Greek sport back in the days of ancient Greece, and it kind of died out, and wrestling and boxing stayed in the forefront in the Olympic Games. And we've kind of put it back together. We've designed our own style of pancration fighting. In pancration, you train to do everything. I was a kickboxer, I was a wrestler. I've done sambo, I've done a lot of different things, and whatever the rules are, we're ready to go. I've been doing a lot of sparring, and in that part, I didn't do as much sparring before the last fight as I've done this time. It's a pretty general sport. I've done the sports that I've grown up doing, boxing and wrestling, and Muay Thai. You take a lot more damage in those sports than you do in this one, because there's so many aspects in this sport. As long as the guys are well matched, when they clash, there's going to be a lot of things going on, a lot of things to look for. You don't have to stand there like a boxer does and just stand there and punch away. Whoever's the better puncher is going to win that battle, and the person that's not good is going to take some head damage. Well, there's been a real progression in the audiences that have come to the extreme fights. Early on is kind of the beer drinking crowd that wants to see blood, you know, and doesn't really know much about the fights. And especially when the fights would go to the ground, you'd hear boos because they wanted to see people standing up hitting each other. And now the crowds have become educated, and they'll clap when people go down to the ground now. There's still those wild people in the crowd that just want to see blood.
Matt Hume stating the case that the real battle occurs on the ground. Let's take a look at these guys in extreme numbers. Hume is 30, a couple years older. Their height is identical, and Miletich is just a little bit heavier. Let's get the official introductions now.
Standing in the red corner, from Bettendorf, Iowa, Midwest professionally Muay Thai champion with a record of 15-0. He is 28 years old, standing 5 foot 10 inches tall. Weighing in tonight at 179 pounds, we have Pat Miletich. Standing behind me in the blue corner, from Kirkland, Washington, 1995 WK super middleweight champion with a record of 226-18-0. He is 30 years old, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall. Weighing in tonight at 177 pounds, we have with us Matt Hume.
So Miletich and Hume are ready to go. I'm Dave Bontempo along with John Peretti, and we're joined ringside right now by the legendary venerable Gene LaBelle. Gene, welcome to our broadcast.
Oh, it's a pleasure being here, being with the best. Can't beat it. These matches are the best I've ever seen. And fighting. Really good. There's the start.
And we've had quite a good series of matchups here. So Miletich and Hume.
That was a nice low roundhouse kick, which didn't even faze Miletich.
You notice how he keeps them low, those kicks? Very good. I love a man that does kicks and can wrestle.
And the legendary Gene LaBelle is with us. Gene, we're glad your mic is open, and welcome to the show.
Hey, it's a pleasure being here.
Now we're seeing some of the strength of...
Matt's got a front face lock.
Miletich trying to control from the top, taking some shots. Hume looks composed back there on the bottom as he fires some chopping shots here.
Well, you know, Gene, those little slaps on the back of the neck were just for distraction, right?
Distraction, but they all hurt. They all hurt there, John.
Afterward, one might say, I got distracted quite a few times in this fight.
When you hit somebody with the inside of your wrist like that, though, it's not really an effective blow.
Well, there's always something better, but it all adds up at the end.
See him digging his fingers in under his armpits to get those nerve endings?
That hurts.
Any place it tickles, it hurts, right, Gene?
But at this time, you don't feel tickling.
Miletich trying to assume control. He's had this position since early on, 2 minutes into their bout. Hume on the ground trying to utilize it.
You see him putting that left knee through now. He's starting to beat the guard.
He's inside the trousers now.
That's good. It's a handle. I love it.
Every inch so valuable. Every little bit of control so important as we come across the halfway point now of the initial phase. Matt Hume and Pat Miletich.
I thought Matt would have been more aggressive from the guard.
Well, he's probably waiting his opportunity to slip a leg over and go for a straight arm bar. I saw him, Matt, in his last fight, cut a person open. They had to stop it. He's a good fighter. They're both fighters. They're well matched. John Peretti did a great job of matching these guys. Very even.
Well, there are some good distractions, so to speak, by Hume. 3 nice distractions to the back of the head. And Miletich trying to smother and get inside those shots and try to mount.
Elbows in. Inside out.
The guard finally broke. Matt's not silly. He doesn't stay down there.
Pat going for a single leg. It's very difficult. Oh, Matt is trying to go in the ropes there. Use the ropes as a third arm. He's got a front face lock. He's got a front face lock. If he can hook the legs together and arch, he's got it. It's broke.
Hume down, Miletich on top, continuing to try and gain control permanently. We're closing in on the final minute of the first phase of this match. A minute to go. Miletich has had the top spot from the beginning. Hume trying to fight out of guard. On the bottom, some clubbing shots.
I like the body blows by Miletich.
These are effective. They might pay dividends in phase 3 if we get that far.
I didn't see any real effective ones.
You think Matt's blowing up a little, Gene?
No, he's pacing himself. He's pacing himself. I love the name of Matt. That means he likes mat work.
Now a kick off and they're both free. Big shot to the head by Hume.
Matt Hume with a very aggressive move to the head. Now, if Miletich chooses to stand with him, he could be in trouble.
Some knees by Hume. Quite the big shot.
That's down.
He
Go to a head grab.
Hume's opportunity came too late in the round.
And that's the end of the round. Round 1.
The phase is complete. Big attempt by Hume at the end of phase number 1. Kazanari getting ready to fight Maurice Smith. Coming off his big win last time, Murakami Kazanari beat Bart Vale rather handily in Extreme Fighting 3. He's an explosive leg fighter, very quick, and he will need all that quickness when he goes against Maurice Smith. That will be our heavyweight battle coming up later. And physicians attending to Matt Hume.
We look at that.
Miletich. There's the takedown initially by Miletich. He would do it again later. But Hume would have his moments too. We've got a broken nose though, as you look at this. A broken nose by Pat Miletich, we're being told by Dr. Joseph Istwanik, and this thing is over. How about that, John? You talked about the knee by Hume, and it's going to pay dividends.
Well, I'm a little confused at the moment, actually. I really didn't think a broken nose qualified for a doctor stopping the fight.
Well, Dr. Joseph Istwanik has seen it, and a call has been made, and this one is over. The suddenness of Matt Hume gives him this bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the first round, the doctor stopped the fight, giving Matt Hume the winner.
Okay, so Matt Hume and Pat Miletich embrace after a broken nose, we've been told, stops the bout. Gene LaBelle, thanks for coming by and sharing your comments with us.
He hit me with those knees. I had to
We'll
lay
be
on my
getting
back. I didn't want to catch any more
Dr.
of them.
Joseph Istwanik in here to talk. Here's Hume, the knee upstairs. That may have broken the nose. He fired a few shots up there into the sensitive nose area, and that is what does it. Hume had a few seconds of offense. And John, you touched on it at the end of phase one. You said if he stands with this guy, it could be trouble, and it was.
Yeah, he started boxing, and, you know, and Matt's a very skilled stand-up fighter. And he hit him with those knees, and he hit him with, what was it, a right hand. And we're here with Dr. Aswanik. And, Doc, I was commenting on that I didn't think a broken nose was qualification for the doctor stopping the fight.
Yeah, that's one of the few qualifications that are pretty positive for stopping something. If you notice in the replays, the competitor actually was grabbing his nose as he stood up. You get the hints from the competitor. When he went to his corner, they immediately paid attention to the nose. And then when we went to examine him, he had tenderness directly over the bone. So a bleeding nose we don't have to worry about. But once they have bone tenderness, then we have to take precautions.
Now, does the bone actually go up? I broke my nose 5 times, but no one ever stopped the fight before. Does it actually, will the bone actually go up into his nose and hurt him?
Those were the old days. But all the safety precautions now. Once you end up with a laceration then over a broken nose, you now have an open fracture, and the chance of infection and all the other complications are much more serious.
Right. And the longer you wait on it, the more risk of infection?
Yeah, at this point it was bleeding internally, but he hadn't lacerated it yet. And should it lacerate, then you've got a much more potentially serious problem.
Could he breathe at that point in time?
Yeah, it's more the fracture that we're concerned about. It's not so much the breathing, because again, you can mouth breathe, you can breathe out the other nose.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate your comments because I was confused.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so there is the medical viewpoint, the safety aspect of extreme fighting. Now let's go to Gretchen Van Deret.
Hi guys, here I'm over here with Pat. Pat, let's talk about your nose. Did you feel like you could still continue to fight?
Yeah, it was fine. It was just a matter of, he landed some good knees, and I didn't want to, it wasn't that I was dazed, I didn't want to take any more, so I went to my back to put him in my guard so that I didn't take any more knees. I was kind of stuck in a bad position. But my nose has a crack all the way across it, and you can feel it. And it just broke loose again. That's all it was. And when the doctor felt it, he felt the crack in there and thought that I had, you know, truly broken it. It may still be broken, but it wasn't a matter of me not being able to continue.
Yeah, at the end of the fight, where did it happen? Was it his knee that actually hit you in the nose?
Yeah, his knee caught me in the nose, but it wasn't that they were hard knees, but I was fine. It's just a matter of, like I say, I was in a bad position, caught underneath him, and I just rolled to my back to put him in my guard. It's obvious I had my faculties about me and stuff. I knew what to do in the position, so it wasn't like I was not able to continue fighting.
So you actually right now feel that you could continue to fight?
Well, of course.
Okay, so you're upset about what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
All right, and thank you, Gretchen, as you get the viewpoint there. And we'd also like to tell our home audience that Gary Dell'Abate, who has the producer of the Howard Stern Show, he's been in movies, The Private Parts, he had his 15 minutes of fame, is now here, and he will be the ring announcer for the rest of the night after having been stranded in airports all day. And those of us who travel all the time certainly know what that is like. So Gary Dell'Abate now has gotten through that, and he'll be here for the remainder of the night. Well, let's get the official introduction of Gary Dell'Abate from the outgoing ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us tonight our real ring announcer, the producer of the Howard Stern Show, one of the stars of The Private Parts. He was stuck in a plane on the way here to Des Moines, Iowa from New York. We have with us Gary Dell'Abate.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Battlecade Welterweight Championship of the World.
I told him just because his boy doesn't tell him it's not my fault. I know.
And this is the welterweight matchup, Kenny Monday and John Lewis. Monday bringing the Olympic aspect into it, and John Lewis has brought many draws and long bouts to extreme fighting. He's a very patient and deliberate fighter. He can fight you for a week. In fact, John Lewis is sort of like the Heinz ketchup approach to this. He takes a lot of time. He doesn't gamble. He is willing to take bouts all the way to the distance. Here's another look at John Lewis.
I represent Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is art from Brazil. It's based on ground fighting and also Gene LaBelle's grappling. My last fight, I enjoyed watching myself. I always like to watch the fights because I get to learn a lot. I learn from each fight. I trained a lot more from my back this time, whereas the people are used to seeing me fighting on top a lot because I'm usually stronger than the guys. I changed weight divisions, so I'm fighting from my back more, working from the guard more. We're planning on fighting from the guard this time. Right now, the weight class goes to 179. It's welterweight. They added a new division in the show now.
The lighter weights now.
I think a lot of the audience is there more for the blood. I think that they miss a lot of the strategy that's going on sometimes, unless they're diehard fans and they know about the art. And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not an art that's made for time limits or rounds. It's the kind of art that you can take your time and let the guy make his mistakes. Putting 5-minute rounds and taking the elbows and the headbutts are a lot of the elements of my fight. So I'm having a hard time with the rules. Kenny Monday, he's like one of the top names in wrestling in America. I don't know his capabilities in the fighting situation, so I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to have. I know he's had a lot of years of wrestling, and he's going to have a lot of habits, and we'll see if he's able to break them in his training time for this show. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a good fight, but I think Jiu-Jitsu will prevail.
So there is John Lewis, who was brought in by Andy Sue Irwin, 1996 Pet of the Year. Lewis, very patient fighter, and will be going now against another of those Olympic wrestlers, and you saw what happened with our first one, Kevin Jackson. Now here's Kenny Monday coming in here. Kenny with Stacy Moran.
The ultimate dream, winning the gold medal, working hard, sacrificing, making yourself dedicated to that goal, and then accomplishing it. It's nothing like that in the world. Anytime that you can say that you're the best in the world in anything, and it could be at marbles, that's exciting. Yeah, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, born and raised in Tulsa. Been here most of my life. We just started after school. We would go over to the Y until our parents got off work. We just started wrestling. Just kind of took to it like a fish to water. All of my life, I've pretty much trained myself for this type of competition. Right now, I'm working on my conditioning. I'm working on my total game. Everything that's involved in being successful in this arena. I'm not going to go in unprepared. There's no fear. I think it's exciting, actually, to be able to combine all of my self-defense techniques. It's just a new arena, just a new chapter in my life. I've never been one to be afraid of taking risk. The sport is growing at a very rapidly paced, and I'm excited to be kind of on the cutting edge. Fighting John Lewis. I saw him fight here in Tulsa in the show a few months ago. Pain. I'm coming to bring the pain. Just be ready to compete. Ready to roll. I'm ready to brawl.
There is Kenny Monday, the man who will challenge John Lewis's patience. Let's look at these guys by the extreme numbers and see how they match up. Very interesting set of statistics with these guys. Monday, a veteran at 35, Lewis younger. The height, very similar. Lewis with a little bit of an edge. The weight, very much the same. Monday is 35 from the 1988 Olympics. Let's see how it all plays out. Let's get the introductions now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our Battlecade welterweight championship fight. From Las Vegas, Nevada, the founder of J-Sec Jiu-Jitsu and undefeated in no-holds-barred competition with a record of 7 wins, 0 losses, and 3 ties. He is 29 years old, standing 5 feet, 11 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 179 pounds, John Lewis. From Tulsa, Oklahoma, he is the 1988 Olympic gold medalist and 1992 Olympic silver medalist in freestyle wrestling. Making his extreme fighting debut, he is 35 years old, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing tonight at 179 pounds, Kenny Monday.
All right, Kenny Monday and John Lewis, we've been waiting for this one. John Lewis is the most patient extreme fighter I've ever seen, and I think that will be tested here.
Clearly. I mean, we're looking at the best wrestler in the world, people say, and it's not me saying it. It's a very new stance for Kenny Monday, don't you think?
Yep, maybe he's going to take something off what he saw Jackson do earlier. John Lewis.
You know, Kenny Monday can shoot so well, but he chooses to stand up and box.
And John Lewis can wait out a hurricane. He waits for his moment. If it's not a perfect situation, he won't gamble.
Kenny Monday, very respectful, don't you think?
Yes. Well, he goes for the grab there.
That's a gold medal tackle.
And now Lewis happy to take guard.
Maybe a better word is content.
Lewis in the guard spot. Monday applying pressure. Lewis looks for a triangle spot.
He's going for a straight arm bar. He doesn't have his leg over yet. Now he's got it over. Kenny's in trouble. Kenny's in a lot of trouble with that elbow right there.
And Lewis pulling on it hard.
He's in deep trouble now. My God, that's superior strength.
Monday got himself out of some big trouble indeed.
I wonder if Kenny actually has got a broken arm here, the way he's just holding it limp.
Lewis was all over him with that.
You know what kind of pain he's in on that elbow capsule?
I'd never really want to know, John.
He escapes.
He gets out.
John Lewis looking for an ankle.
So Kenny Monday also survives an early storm and comes on 2 minutes into this bout.
Kenny Monday very happy to be in the guard.
Looking for a place to start some offense.
A mouse under left eye of John Lewis. An arm, he's giving him another arm.
Monday trying to utilize leverage and full weight distribution to lean down on Lewis here. And like we've seen before, does not have a myriad of finishing holds. We saw the same thing with Jackson, but he won his bout.
Well, now Kenny's getting smart. His arm must hurt by now, and he's holding it behind his head in a clutch to hold him tight. He's staying close instead of backing up.
So he'll try to smother anything that John Lewis will do here. And so both battlers essentially regrouping here.
Now look at how the Olympic wrestler uses his head to push on John.
Trying to push down on Lewis, using it very well, as you say, John. Trying to subtly wear Lewis down. Lewis clamps the legs around him again. Some pounding shots by Jackson. First downstairs, then clubbing for the head. Monday, excuse me.
He's got the arm again. Let's see if John Rogers legs up. He does. Countered very nicely by Kenny Monday that time.
So Kenny Monday, a newcomer, has seen some moves, reacted to some moves, and put on the pressure. He established a takedown as expected of the Olympic wrestlers. We head into the final minute of phase one, and both of these guys might not mind a phase two to get things started all over again.
I can't believe Kenny Monday can use his arm that well after taking that kind of pressure from John Lewis.
Well, he uses it pretty well there, both of them, and he moved his hips at the same time, trying to get some power in there. Kenny Monday has been a study of leverage and proper weight distribution.
That might be the most incredible base we've seen in extreme fighting right now.
So Kenny Monday may go for the dough in phase two. He's gone for the show in phase one and has put on an excellent performance. John Lewis, again, as always, poised, even if he's on the bottom. And phase one has been an interesting one. We look set to go into phase two.
A terrific first round.
Put pressure on it. Go ahead and try it, okay? Pressure nice.
The takedown, of course, it's going to be the Olympic wrestler. And Monday has his way, but Lewis struggled there for a while. Lewis did not initially give him that takedown. It had to be earned here by Monday.
Yeah, but, you know, Kenny definitely said, maybe I'll push him up a little and not take him down. Maybe I'll back off.
Shots doing the damage to the eye. Clubbing shots here by Kenny Monday. Phase two.
They forgot Lewis's mouthpiece. Lewis looking very emotional right now.
And he has been under fire here. A guy in front of him who was chiseled in granite. A great build. Guy with speed. Guy really going to test Lewis in this bout and did so in the opening round. Plus, he's not the typical Battlecade jiu-jitsu fighter, and Lewis is seeing some new things from him.
Oh yes, he is. He's seeing strength that he's never seen. Now I think Kenny's gonna shoot again. Oh, nice right hand, lead right hand from John.
Dave Bontempo and John Peretti, glad you're with us for Battlecade Extreme Fighting 4. This is the one where the Olympic wrestlers, champions from 1998 and 1992 have been included. Kenny Monday,
he's gonna shoot,
is in there now. John Peretti says he's going to shoot, go for a takedown. We'll see. Lewis jabbing on the outside.
Kenny trying to trade fisticuffs.
Well, he jabbed upstairs. He was looking downstairs. He was looking to look for the takedown off the jab, and it wasn't there. John Lewis with a bloody nose comes right at him, and right after him is Kenny Monday. And this is a real trench battle.
You know, Kenny can throw you, too.
He may just do it now. He's looking to. He wants to throw. Lewis puts him in guard.
And Kenny says, take that with you, that right hand.
Shots being
That's a
fired.
mistake. That's that armbar again.
Lewis has a shot here on the bottom. When you're on top, you can't overextend the arms. Now some big shots. Big shots by Jackson.
Nice left hand to finish.
Lewis is hurt.
Lewis
He may go out. He may go out. Jackson pounding. Sorry, Monday is pounding him here.
Let's see if Kenny looks for a finishing hold or he rides him a little.
Monday should keep punching. That's effective.
He let John get full guard now. Why'd he do that?
Monday should have kept on punching. He had Lewis on the verge of going out.
I told you he was going to ride again, didn't I?
And he is riding. He doesn't have the finishing holds. If you've got the submission techniques, riding is fine. He's trying to come across and maybe put pressure on the arm.
He used the shoulder really nicely there Monday. John Lewis showing tremendous heart here, don't you think?
He really absorbed a beating, John, with those shots, and he stayed in there. And he's taking more. Kenny Monday in full dominance.
I'm concerned about the arm behind John Lewis's head there. You see it?
Yes.
John starts to pick his guard up. We'll know what he's going for.
When you are on top, you do not want to leave yourself open by firing a shot and not ending up square.
It's an unconventional uppercut, don't you think?
This is an unconventional competition, and it is welcome. When a guy has his hand around your head, a half uppercut is better than none. And Kenny Monday in control. Trying to fire shots to big right hands to Lewis.
Now we're seeing the power of Kenny Monday.
He is trying to make Lewis submit because he doesn't have the holds.
Look at the base of Kenny Monday.
Perfect. Excellent leverage. Watch the hips. Watch him get everything into his shots. John Lewis taking the pounding. This could be stopped at any time. Very close to being stopped. Maybe stopped here. It is. And a good call. John Donahue seeing the unanswered shots being taken by Lewis. And we have seen an excellent performance, John, by the Olympic wrestlers.
And we have a new welterweight champion of the world.
Kenny Monday taking it to John Lewis. A very skilled guy who did all he could. But the punching on top was key. And both guys said, Kenny Monday and Kevin Jackson, that what they would like to do is take control on top and then punch just to try and make the other guy quit. And they were able to do that. Kenny Monday getting a very game John Lewis out of there in the second phase of the competition. And John Donahue, the referee in charge of the safety, watching Lewis take all those flush, unanswered shots, did the right thing. So Kenny Monday and Kevin Jackson with auspicious debuts, to say the least, in extreme fighting. Monday got the top and pounded away. He got away with some mistakes too, John.
Oh yeah, but he took tremendous punishment to the elbow twice.
Well, let's get the official verdict now.
Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, the referee stops the fight at 4:09 of the second round for the new Battlecade welterweight champion of the world, Kenny Monday.
And so Kenny Monday at 4:09 of the second phase. When you have power, leverage, and speed, some offensive mistakes can be forgiven. And he got away with them tonight. What a nice, powerful performance by that man.
And he's proved that he's even more than anyone ever thought. Congratulations.
Kenny Monday had the top position, and he may not know all the finishing holds, so he fires finishing blows. Look at the leverage, the power, everything into it. Good leverage. He turns into his shots, maximizes his ability, moves the legs up a little bit so he gets even more. And John Lewis is just a target. He is game, but these shots are just too good. And so John Donahue, the referee, does the right thing. Yeah, this guy just made no mistakes, John, looking for openings. He fired everywhere.
He just dominated from that position, which he's not supposed to. That's unorthodox in itself.
He fired wide punches and got away with it. You're not supposed to. But he also showed the poise from Olympic competition. That was an elbow that was nearly an elbow to the head, but the forearm is what it's credited for. The forearm is a good shot, You have to make sure the elbow does not come in there. And there's a guy, unorthodox, doing everything right.
We look at this here, you know, he's got those overhand rights. When I mean overhand, they're going over everything.
And watch the hands, how they twist, maximizing the impact. And he's just landed all parts of the head, the temple area. And John Donahue is right on top of it, gives John Lewis every chance. And that shot there convinced him. The 2 shots plus the forearm, that was enough. And so Kenny Monday,
well, John Donahue
banging
saved,
down the doors.
Sorry, Kenny Monday, you know, proved that he could do what he had to do, and John Donahue saved John Lewis to be able to fight yet another day.
John, what do you think of these Olympic wrestlers coming in here? They've done quite a job.
They're as dominant as I thought they would be, and they proved that you know, you can't just learn this overnight. They've been doing this their whole life. I think Kenny started wrestling when he was 8, didn't he?
Very young age, and what they've shown, and when you mix up the styles, you see what's going to come together, that the wrestlers didn't need the myriad of finishing holds. They had their own way of doing it. And we saw Monday there with the chopping shots, and earlier we saw Jackson using the arm pressure and his full even weight distribution. Well, as we've told you earlier about merchandise and equipment available on this Battlecade broadcast, there it is.
The Battlecade soundtrack is here with all the bone-crushing, side-splitting action you've come to expect from this extreme fighting event. Call now at 1-800-874-0229 to order the most extreme compilation of music ever put together. This special CD features 10 tracks of power with artists including Lungs featuring one-on-one. So call to order yours today at 1-800-874-0229.
Well, our new champion, Kenny Monday, is by now with Gretchen Van Daren. Gretchen?
Yes, I'm right here.
You're on the air.
I'm right here with Kenny. Kenny, let's talk about this. Tell me how you felt.
Oh, I'm exhausted. I feel great, though. I feel great. This is a great competition. I hope everyone that saw it was watching today realized that this is a sport on the rise. And it's a great sport, a great challenge, great competitors, great athletes. I just want to say thanks to God for giving me the strength and the will to overcome tonight. I want to say hi to my little girl Sydney, my wife Sabrina. Thank you for supporting me, my family, my friends. Thanks for all my students at Kenny Monday School of Wrestling. I know you guys are watching. We got the job done. I'm bringing this belt back home.
Yeah.
And
it's Monday.
thank my trainer Tim and everybody else. Kevin Jackson, he's great.
At the end of the fight, what happened?
They stopped it. No.
Okay, no. Look
No,
at the
I
monitor. Were you happy with your striking technique?
Yeah, I knew that my best chance to finish him.
Okay,
was
see,
to,
look at the monitor. Look at the monitor here.
Yeah, here, he was pretty open. And I know that the best thing I had to do was just keep punching. And he was already cut up pretty good. And I was just hoping that the referee stepped in and before he got hurt too bad. But I just want to keep the action going, don't let him rest, and just overcome him.
Were you surprised about how effective your strikes really were?
Yeah, because I didn't think I was going to have to strike that much. I thought I could get in there and get him in a headlock and submit him. But you know, in this sport, it's whatever it takes to win.
Good. Hate to cut you off, but thank you. You did a great job. We're proud of you.
Thank you. You didn't cut me off.
Back to you.
Yeah.
All right, Gretchen and Kenny Monday, the new welterweight champion, off a scintillating performance with those strikes on top, and they were certainly very accurate, did the job. We've seen all types of ways in which bouts have ended tonight. Well, up next, the grand finale. Maurice Smith and Murakami Kazunari set to go for the heavyweight championship. Maurice Smith coming off his stirring win over Conan Silveira in Battlecade 3. And Kazunari dominating Bart Vale. So this should be a very explosive and tactical bout as Kazunari comes through. And he's ready for his ring entrance. Let's take a closer look at Kazunari.
My name is Murakami Kazunari. I'm the heavyweight judo champion of Japan.
Something in my brain will snap. If it is any longer, do you cry? I think that before I can take it no more. No more. So shut the fuck up and run to the goal.
I've been training many hours every day in preparation for my fight with Maurice Smith.
There's no alternative. No matter what they might.
Eating a high-protein diet and working on my punching techniques is going to help me win.
Get out! Get out now! Get out! Get out now! Something in my brain will snap. If it is any longer, do your grab. I'm thinking before I can take it no more. No more. So shut the fuck up, you run to the door. Take control of life. Get rid of preconceived ideas. Mentally abused, used. In between the tracks.
After my win, I will do the same victory dance I did over Bart Vale. I didn't only come to America to fight for all of Japan. I came to eat a big steak.
Well, there you get a look at Kazunari. He was escorted in by Samantha Michaels, November 96, Pet of the Month. Murakami Kazunari, and tonight he'll be fighting Maurice Smith, a veteran who is aware that people think he may be an underdog tonight. He's very sensitive to that. He wants to come in and do a big job here. He'll be escorted in by Elizabeth Hilden. Maurice Smith, an overnight sensation in extreme fighting.
You know, the police are gonna love this license plate. Yeah, we got him now speeding. I do either kickboxing or Muay Thai. Well, now I'm training a lot on the groundwork to compete in this kind of fighting. So my style still is primarily stand-up fighting with kickboxing, Muay Thai, but then the groundwork is either submission fighting or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or whatever. And I haven't trained any differently necessarily. What I've done is just increase my groundwork a little more. But for the most part, the training's the same. How does he train? This is it. This is Maurice's training. I'm losing right now. Oh, yes. I don't care about who I fight. I just want to fight. You know, it doesn't matter if he's a Japanese or if he's American or he's Brazilian. I felt the fight was good, but the most exciting part for me was reversal. And that shows me that I can fight the Brazilian on the ground in their own game, whereas they can't fight me on my game as well. It increased my notoriety more than my 17 years of kickboxing. So the free fighting has been very instrumental to my success in fighting in general. I like to fight Gracie, Royce Gracie. He challenged me once before, and like 2 years back in Black Belt magazine. Well, now I want to fight him now.
Well, for Maurice Smith to get his opportunity, he'll have to win tonight. Let's look at the extreme numbers and see how these guys match up in our last bout of the evening. Smith, the veteran at 35, Kazunari with youth on his side, both 6'2". Smith just a little heavier at 220. Should not be that big a factor. Well, let's get the official ringside introductions now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final bout of the evening for the Extreme Fighting Heavyweight Championship of the World. From Tokyo, Japan, undefeated in extreme fighting and a black belt in Kodokan Karate. With a record of 21 wins and 2 losses, he is 23 years old, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 212 pounds. Murakami Kazunari. From Bellevue, Washington, he is the current Extreme Fighting Heavyweight Champion and the 1996 ISKA World Heavyweight Kickboxing Champion with a record of 59 wins, 2 losses, and 5 draws, 45 wins by knockout. He is 35 years old, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 220 pounds. Maurice Smith.
Smith and Kazunari, final battle of the night. Heavyweight championship. Smith ending his last bout on a kick. Kazunari very explosive with his legs too. It will be interesting to see where this bout is waged.
Ready? Let's fight.
And they start. Kazunari with the leaping left hook. He hurt Smith with that.
That was a huge left hook.
Oh,
Smith is in trouble.
Don't blink when this guy starts.
Kazunari's in trouble. He wants the championship of the world.
Well, that was a left hook. I think he threw it all the way from Japan.
I think it picked up speed across Asia. He's mounted him, too.
And now Maurice Smith trying to get out of trouble. An explosive beginning like we thought.
Maurice is the Iceman, but he's going to need ice on that face.
Well, he took a shot. Now Smith trying to get back. Pounding some good body shots in here.
Payback.
Payback, and he wants to establish position as well. Trying to get the arms of Kazunari moved away so he can get into what he wants to do. Smith not quite comfortable yet, but he is punching well.
Those punches are hard. He kind of turns him over like a boxer.
And he lands to the same spot, so this is repeat damage to the kidney and rib area. Actually, kidney shot's not out. It's the rib area he's landing to on Kazunari. Good cross shot there. Then the forearm smash. Maurice Smith establishing position by punching. Now staring down at Kazunari. What a weird exchange. That's bizarre. Kazunari doesn't know what to do.
Kazunari wants to stay down. He doesn't want to stand up with this guy.
He does not want to walk into a bomb.
Maurice will mow your lawn with that leg. He's beckoning him to come up.
If this was a street fight, Kazunari would be called chicken. And the people are getting at him now.
Kazunari is really,
Smith should be pounding these leg shots as he is. Kazunari is trying to play defense with his feet.
Look at the welt on his left shin from that last one.
He is taking shots. Smith should just keep pounding these leg shots.
I think it'd be great.
He should feel more of them. That's a snapping sound.
I felt that one from here, just memory.
Smith needs to keep doing that. Don't give Kazunari a shot.
That one lifted his butt off the canvas.
The most weird scene we've seen in 4 Battlecades. Kazunari taking shots. This is the Battlecade equivalent of the rope-a-dope.
Those are horrific.
Where you sit back and let the opponent try to punch or kick himself out. Kazunari taking a beating. Smith may try to get these shots to the body here. Now Smith just showing the right kicks here. He wants to do something else.
Kazanari lies on his back for protection. I guess he doesn't want the rebuttal from, but you know, these are brutal. He's going to start wincing at that, and then he's going to have another problem.
Well, wait till the second phase.
You know, Maurice Smith can kick a heavy bag all night long and, you know, take the stuffing out of it.
But he is really unloading some shots here to Kazanari, who is just trying to show that he can survive this.
Watch that big left leg.
Smith is daring Kazanari to come up.
And he does.
Let's see what Kazanari has left in his legs.
Watch this leg kick. The heel's coming up again. Have we seen that before?
We've seen it end the bout. So a bizarre and unusual defense by Kazanari.
Look at the welts forming on Kazanari's thighs now. Wow. Oh, Maurice Smith is setting him up.
Wait to see what they're like tomorrow, John, those welts now.
I know too well what those are like.
Big shot by Smith. Kazanari might be out. Wow. That's got to be it. He is out. Maurice Smith with a tremendous shot. What a bomb. Maurice Smith kicked it to the body all night, and a thunderous right hand. Kazanari walked into thunder. 4:20 of the opening phase. So Maurice Smith has on back-to-back occasions lowered the boom, and Kazanari went flat out. We go from the most unusual occurrence in Battlecade to the most explosive punch ever thrown in Battlecade, and Kazanari is still out. What an absolute perfect right hand fired by Maurice Smith. Now Kazanari blinking his eyes and responding to some treatment. Maurice Smith showing the leg shots. Kazanari came right at Maurice Smith. That's the big left hand to start it, the left palm.
It looked like a palm strike, didn't it, Dave? Shocked the hell out of Maurice Smith, didn't it?
It put Smith on the defensive for about a minute. But we would see Maurice Smith gradually get out of trouble and then establish control. Now, Kazanari had done this in other bouts. A whirlwind blitzkrieg type attack, and he controlled it for quite a way. Now in the middle, Kazanari does not want to tangle with Maurice Smith.
And now the leg kick onslaught starts. And what you see here is such an experienced kickboxer and the world kickboxing champion, you know, just brutalizing him.
This is a weltathon opening up. And now the end of it. Smith, he's shown the legs all night. Tapping with the jab, sets up the right. There it is. He fakes once and gets it in. What a bomb on the point of the chin by Maurice Smith. Watch it again. Watch the left hand. He's just looking for a spot with that. Feints, then comes in. What a beautiful finish by Maurice Smith. He got Kazanari to buy the first punch and then was able to recoil and throw that shot, which he caught him flush. Here's the way it is. The bomb after the fake with the right hand. And you can't do it any better than that as far as Maurice Smith shows you. The jab, fake the jab, come up with the right hand. He came up short with it deliberately, held it up, and then came up with the right hand smash to the chin. Kazanari being attended to here. They will be very, very cautious. Well, we're going to get the official time now. And John Peretti will be standing by with Maurice Smith. And they put a brace on Casanari and they'll carry him off. Looks like they got very quick attention to Casanari. The medical staff right there. So an explosive finale on Battlecade.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a knockout at 4:20 of the first round, still the current Extreme Fighting heavyweight champion, Maurice Smith.
So Maurice Smith retains his championship. All right, Maurice Smith is standing by now with John Peretti. Take it away, John.
Maurice, an unbelievable right hand, but what about the beginning of the fight?
I didn't expect him to throw a left, and before I knew I was on the ground, he hit me really good, as you can see, and he came out to fight hard. And then when I got my bearings back, I'm on the ground. So he hit me really good. There's no question. There's no way I can deny any different. He did a good job coming out really hard.
He came out and hit you with a palm strike.
Is that what it was?
I mean, it was right on his palm.
He hit me right. I walked into it to his left, which was my mistake. That's what happens when you go into a southpaw's left. They hit you. And when I came to, in a way, I'm on the ground.
And what'd you think of his strategy, laying on his back like that?
It's good. That's why, you know, it's pretty smart, because it's kind of hard to get around there without risking getting hit or kicked in the knee or whatever. So he did a good thing. That's why I stepped back. And
you beckoned him to come forward.
Yes, to get him off the ground, because it makes for a boring fight for the crowd. So you have to, it's best to stay on your feet and keep the crowd excited. He fought a smart fight. It's just that he's not as good on his feet as I am. And that's very important. Like I said before, it's good for me to learn to fight their way.
What about that huge right hand from Virginia?
It was good enough to hurt him, unfortunately, but it was a good shot. He does not, like I said, you got to learn each other's game, and he just walked into a right hand, or walked backwards to a right.
You are the Iceman, but you're going to need ice on that eye.
Yeah, it looks that way. It looks that way, but it's okay. It's part of the game. I'm not hurt. I got rocked really well in the first part of the fight, and I'm all right now. And looking at it on the camera, it looks pretty good.
Well, let's look at this again, Maurice. You'll see the end of the fight right here, and right down the pipe.
Yes. And he didn't have any defense. He doesn't understand standing. So that's the thing. The ground fighter's got to understand standing, and the stand-up fighter's got to understand grounding. So I'm happy with the fight.
Now, did you know immediately? We're going to look at it again from the overhead.
Well, when I hit him, I saw him go down, but I didn't realize it was that hard. And as I see now, as I hit the ground, the way he landed, I walked away knowing that I hit him really hard.
So, when you hit him like that, did you feel him? Did you feel his head go?
No. I just throw a punch, and whatever happens, happens. I threw a punch with intensity to hurt, but I think it hit him really well, as you can see. And then when he hit the ground, I knew he was down for a while, hoping he wouldn't get up, so we didn't do any more. And I think he's gonna be okay, and I'm happy.
So now, who do you look forward to? Who do you want?
Well, what I want now is, like, I had a challenge about 2 years back from Royce Gracie. Royce, you challenged me 2 years ago. I'm here now. Don't let the rules be a hindrance to fight me. You fight me. You challenge me, here I am. Don't run, don't let money be an issue. Let's fight the fight. I'll go with the rules, you know what you like. Half hour, whatever, let's fight.
You think Royce Gracie has ever been hit that hard?
Oh, I know he hasn't. I know he hasn't been hit that hard. But the thing is, get him in the ring. Royce, come in the ring. You challenge me, like I said. I'm here to answer your challenge. Let's do it. And also to see my sport grow, and I'm gonna continue to be an ambassador for the sport and make it grow more.
Well, you're a great champion, and you showed, you know, tremendous diversity.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and I hope to return again.
Great, Maurice. Thank you very much.
All right.
Maurice Smith.
Okay, John, so let's wrap up the night's action here, as we had Gary Myers and Tom Glanville grappling to a draw. You saw that to open up our telecast done earlier. And then Alan Goes and Todd Bjorton in a quick match, and with Bjorton got himself in an early triangle problem, and Goes finished him off in the first phase. Eric Paulson and Paul Jones grappling to a draw, and they had an exciting contest with many possible finishes to that, and it finally ended up neither man could win. Kevin Jackson over John Lober, and a tremendous performance from him. Quick takedown, got on top, used his arm pressure and everything he knew from wrestling, and the 1992 Olympic gold medalist was able to get a victory over a very tough and strong John Lober. That's our first 4 bouts of the evening. Later on in the contest, we saw Matt Hume and Pat Miletich, and Hume able to get Miletich out by breaking his nose. Able to do that, a couple of knees up to the head, and able to finally take control of that match at the end of the first phase. Also, Kenny Monday and John Lewis. Monday with a victory, second phase over John Lewis, and Maurice Smith defeating Murakami Kazunari. Maurice Smith with that explosive right hand that we saw earlier. Well, let's take one more look at stuff you can buy and be part of with Battlecade, and then we'll show you some more before we go.
The Battlecade soundtrack is here, with all the bone-crushing sights, bloody action you've come to expect from this extreme fighting event. Call now at 1-800-874-0229 to order the most extreme compilation of music ever put together. This special CD features 10 tracks of power, with artists including Lungs, featuring one-on-one. So call to order yours today at 1-800-874-0229.
All right, welcome back here. We have had quite an explosive night of extreme fighting. John, your final thoughts on what you've seen tonight?
I'm very happy with the matches and the way things went. We have 2 incredible new fighters to add and a new welterweight champion of the world. I truly believe that our show is now incredibly diversified.
You've got all phases of it covered. Well, Gretchen Van Daren was with some very happy people in the locker room. Your observations tonight, Gretchen?
Well, I think it was one of the best shows that we've had. I think the Olympic gold medalists proved to be a wonderful fight for all the jiu-jitsu fighters, and I think there's something to consider in the next fight. I personally think Maurice Smith, that was an unbelievable right hand, and I'm very happy with the fight this evening, and I think everyone else is too. So thank you for having me, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, so that's the story. Battlecade 5 coming in July. For John Peretti, Gretchen Van Daren, and our crew, this is Dave Bontempo saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time, everybody.